From a moment, and finally the time is now to shine.
What's up, family, friends, frenemies, enemies, family, friends, and foes? What's going on? How you doing out there? How you doing? I am, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Clyde Rush. Welcome to the Light Body Podcast. How are you doing today? I'm glad to have you here. This is episode number 6. We are in full swing. Episodes are going to continuously go on. I'm glad that you're here because you know that you can be anywhere in the world besides here for these few moments that you will be here. And I want you to know I appreciate you spending your time here, sharing a few moments with what it is that I have to say. And I believe that what it is that I will say will definitely impact and create some type of transformation within your life. I am speaking today in this video about something that's really been very close to me, very dear to me, and I've learned a lot from this particular process. Did I always understand it? Absolutely not. Did I always know that I was in it? Absolutely not. It's only when I came up to the light that I really understood what the process was to get me from where I was to where I am right now. And every single one of us go through it. We start out life from coming from the darkness into light. And that's what this whole thing is all about. So I had to sit with this for a few days and really think about how to present this, because as I was going through this and I was growing through the process of this, there's something that's called shadow work. I can laugh about it now, but when you're in the shadows of your life, ooh boy, there's nothing really to laugh about. And it could be some tumultuous situations that are going on. And sometimes you get caught up in the whirlwind, in the spiral of it, or in the vortex of it. And you're not really sure about where you are. You're not really sure about who you are. And you're not really sure about the stress, strains, or struggles that you constantly hear me speaking in reference to, whether they've encapsulated you and have got you, or you've got it. It's a point of confusion. It's a point of darkness. So today's topic is, we're going to call it the dark room. The dark room. And what happens in the dark room? You know, years ago, before today's time, you used to have to develop a photo in what was called the dark room. You know, you go into the dark room, you took a negative and it had to be completely pitch black in that space. Otherwise, it would ruin the negative. And if the negative is ruined, then the picture doesn't come to fruition. All right. You can't see what the picture is because the negative is destroyed. So in order to develop, listen to this now, because this is key here. In order to develop the picture in your mind, you must develop it from the negative. In order to develop the picture that's in your mind, the thing that you see in your mind's eye, you must develop it from the negative. What are you talking about? Let's go into this. Look, I said this is very near to my heart, and it's going to be challenging for not myself, because I went through the challenge already. And because I went through the challenge, I truly believe that there are people out there who are in the challenge of the life right now, and they are in the dark room being developed for the picture that they have on their mind's eye. And I know that feeling. I know what it feels like to be in a dark room, because when you're in a dark room, you're isolated. There's no light. More often than not, there may not even be a sound. And if it's the sound that you hear inside there, it's definitely not a pleasurable sound. And like I said, there's isolation. There's no applause. There's no chants of your name. There's no friends or family or anybody that's in that place with you, because it's usually a small room, a small space. When you're in that dark room, especially when you're in the dark room of your life and you're being challenged, you're being stretched from the seed form, the gifts, talents, skills, and abilities are being developed within you. They happen in the dark. And more often than not, the reason why you're not where you truly want to be is because you refuse to allow yourself to be developed. What do I mean by that? See, in order to get to the place that you have inside your mind's eye, you will not be able to get there the person that you are right now. Guess what? If you can be there as the person that you know what I'm going to say. If you can be there as the person that you are right now, then guess what? You would be there now. So there's still something that's got to be developed in you that you are refusing to allow to be developed. So what does that mean? That doesn't mean you don't come out of the dark room. That means you stay in the dark room even longer than you thought or even realized, because you're not fully developed to go out yet. Here's the next part. We all have talent, skills, and abilities to do some amazing things that can change the whole face of this world that we live in. Are you contributing from your gifting, from what you were here to do? Do you even understand what that is? And the uniqueness and the character of who it is that you truly are. There's nobody else out here in this world like you. So why would you want to be like this person or be like that person when you have your audacious self to be even that much more of? But we get so caught up in the identity of what it is that we think we see that it looks like somebody else may be. We don't know what that person went through to become who they are. What we do know is we're not where we want to be, and they are. So instead of following one course until successful, focusing on them, what would happen if you focused on you? Let's go into this a little bit, all right? One of the first things that you got to do is accept the fact, embrace the fact that I'm going to go into the dark room. That's the first thing in that identity shift, is to say, I'm shifting my identity because I know where I am. And where I am, I think I've done enough in this space and place. And it's time for me to shift my identity and change my personality so I can get a different reality. I got to go in the dark room. And I got to willfully go inside there and develop the negatives that I actually have into the vision that I have on my mind's eye. I'm going to give you a metaphor for that. Just as seeds start in darkness, recognize that personal growth often begins in the dark room of not knowing and uncertainty. There's something that is inside of you that's stirring. There's something inside of you that just will not rest. And the reason why is because it's in development. It's something that you do that's uniquely assigned to you, that only you can do, but it must go through a development process. 5 steps. First step is be. Who must I be? Who do I get to be in order to bring the thing it is that's impressed upon my mind into my reality? I got to change my personality before my reality becomes real. What is it about me? Not they, them, those, and others. What is it about me that I've got to change, that I have not accepted yet, that until I do, I will not become who I'm designed to become? I got to stop for a minute. I got to do a self-assessment. I got to go into the dark room and be developed from the negative to the positive. There's going to be moments of uncertainty. There's going to be moments of doubt because I don't know. But what I do know is that there's a desire that I have in my heart. There's something I want to have. But before I can have what it is that I truly desire, there are 4 things that I got to get together first before I can have anything it is that I want. First step, my identity. Who must I become? The next step. 3 steps for each one of these different characteristics that I'm going to bring to you. First up is B, identity. Who must I become? The metaphor. Just as a seed starts in darkness, recognize the personal growth often begins in the dark room and not knowing or uncertainty. That's the dark room. Here's the process. Embrace introspection and solitude. Use meditation and reflective practices to delve into your inner world, identifying core beliefs and values that define your current identity. Your current identity. Your current identity. What do I believe? What are my limiting beliefs about who it is that I am right now that are hindering me from becoming the best version of myself in order to accomplish the thing it is that I see on my mind's eye? What am I not believing about myself? What am I uncertain about? What introspection, because I'm doing the inner work now. What shadows keep popping up, chasing me down to limit who it is that I said I am? Because the belief in who I truly am has not matured yet for me to be able to create what it is that I see in my mind's eye. It doesn't make a difference if it's a house, car, plane, or train. It doesn't make a difference if it's a relationship between this, that, and the other with this one or that one, family member, friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, main friend, whatever you want to call them. How can I manifest that thing if who I say I am, I'm not really sure about? You got to be emphatically sure. You got to know beyond knowing that you know that you know that you know that I know that I am who I say I am. No other is the most important part of this. I say who I am because I've been tried by the afflictions, the adversity that I've turned into an advantage by overcome obstacles, limitations, and fears and disbeliefs over the course of my life that have already proven that I can, because I'm bigger than I was. Why? Because I'm still here. That which they meant to take me out, I took and I built something with it. That's what you do in the dark room. You go through development. You go through processes and changing. You go through a process that takes what was and turns it into what it can be. That's who you are. You can transform your life at any moment you decide by going into the dark room and developing the negative into something positive. Here's the outcome going into that first stage of that dark room. A clearer understanding of your true self. A beginning of shedding layers of that which you no longer need, that which no longer serves you. There's a pruning away of what no longer serves you. There's a severing of what no longer serves you for the ascension of where you're going. It's a weight that is weighing you down and holding you in circumstance. Circumstance. You're in a circle, standing in a circumstance. You're standing right in it. And if you stand there, that's stagnation. You ain't moving. But you're waddling in the same mess that is designed to get you up through a message to get you to where you're going. But you're ruminating on the same thing. Why did this happen to me? They did this to me. I wanted the best for them, but they took the best from me. And you sit there and you stay in it day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and try to figure out why. There's only one thing that is elapsing during that time. And you know what I'm going to say. You said it. Time. How much time are you going to continue to let go by while you sit in that circle of life asking yourself, why? You can ask yourself why along the way, and pretty much you'll ask yourself, why did I stay? Why did I hang around with those people? Why did they allow that situation or circumstance to prevent me, the great I am, from becoming something greater at the thought inclination of who it is that I recognize myself to be? Shifting my identity. Embrace the dark room. You put your hand on that doorknob and handle it, open it up and slam the door behind you. Go into your vault of discovery and don't come out until you developed. Trust me, it's a process. Your identity is going to be fortified, filled in a way that can only happen by going through the dark room. Your negative will turn into a positive. And then the vision that's on your mind's eye can manifest because you know who you are and what it is that you need to do and who's coming along the way to help you create it. Because I'm going to tell you something. The vision that you have on your mind's eye, you're not supposed to do it by yourself. But sometimes our egotistical minds say, I'm going to do it all. I can do it by myself. And then the people, places, and things that have changed the course of your life to help you get from where you are to where you truly desire to be, you no longer accept. Why? Because you think it's all about you. We want to change. We want to change humanity, this world, into what it's evolving into. And it only happens person by person, place by place, thing by thing. What's your assignment? Go into the dark room and find out. Here's 2. Dominate. Dominate. Grow strong roots. I'm only going to go over 2 of them today because time is so fast. Grow strong roots. Dominate. Grow strong roots. Here's the metaphor. Like roots growing in the ground. Like roots growing in the ground. Establish a firm foundation in your life. I'm going to read it one more time. Metaphor. Like roots growing in the ground. Establish a firm foundation in your life. What do I mean? You want to build something, you got to till the land first. You got to dig a hole. You got to dig that hole in order to plant a seed. If you don't plant the seed in a deep hole, it's going to sprout out. And the wind will come and blow it away. The sun will come and dry it up. The rain will come and wash it away. But if it's planted deep in good soil, that's nurtured by the very thing that could come and blow it away. That's nurtured by the very thing that can sustain the life through its photogenic senses of the sun. Through the nurturing of the rain that comes down, it doesn't wash it away. It sustains it. By interacting with the earth soil that you're sitting in as a seed, because you've cultivated the land. You did the inner work. See, the inner work is your garden. And you're the farmer. The inner work is the soil that you plant your dreams, your ideas in. And you allow it time to mature in a proper season because you did the right thing. Starting to get warm in here. You did the right thing at the right time for the right reason for the right people. In your due season, you will bear a harvest that shall come. We got the metaphor, like roots growing in the ground. Establish a firm foundation in your life. Here's the process. Cultivate, check this out, cultivate discipline and resilience. Focus on strengthening your core competencies and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. I'm going to read it one more time. The process is to cultivate discipline and resilience. Focus on strengthening your core competencies and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. That challenge is a challenge to change from who you were to who you are to become. That's the challenge, where the challenge that you were met with stopped you at one time. Now we have the opportunity to see that challenge as a challenge to change and to become, through the adversity, to an advantage, from an obstacle to an opportunity for who? For me. You see, there was a time in your life when you decided, whoa, worst of everything was going on for me. Worst of energy was happening for me. You have an opportunity right now by going into that dark room to turn a negative into a positive and to live the dreams that you see in your mind's eye on the screen of your future life. Only you can see that. But there are other people who will help you along the way because they are sent to you, but you can't see them. Why? Because you're not vibrating on the right frequency. See, if you're vibrating on the right frequency, which is centered around your heart, you'll attract the things to you. When you go out there, how does this all work in a regular round? Well, here's the thing. When you go out there with your product, your service, or your program, you don't have to go looking for folks. Folks will find you. Why? Because people will see you before they hear you. I'm going to give you all a couple of minutes to think about that one. People will see you before they hear you. And by the time they hear you, they already know what you have because they've seen you. They've seen you so much that they want to know, who are you? Now they're ready to hear you. The question is, did you show up enough for them to see you so they could want to hear you to get what it is that you have that's not to serve you, but to serve them? That's who you are. What am I saying to you? There's already a place and a space for who you are, just as you sit. Why? Because when you go into the dark room, you're going to develop the images and the pictures that have already been taken, that are already who it is that you are, that allow you to see what it is that you see today because of what you've been through yesterday. You can receive that. And if you can understand that, the doubts and glooms, the fears and apprehensions that you have about you've already accomplished are now dismantled. And now you get to see who you've always been through everything it is that you've gone through. You're still here. There's significance. There's a reason why you're still here. There's still more to do. You've already proven that you can do it because you're still present. And no, I've been there, where you sit there and you feel like, I'm done. I'm finished. No family, no friends, no foe. Even if they are there, you can't see them because you're not vibrating on that frequency. It's you. Just like when you go in that dark room. But this time when you go in the dark room, you go in there with an intention to be developed, which means your courage is amplified now. Your belief in yourself is even greater than it was because now you're willing to go into the darkness. You're taking the shadows the images, the distillations, the things that weren't really clear in there with you. So you can overcome it and them. Here's the outcome of that dominance. A robust and resilient character, capable of weathering life's challenges while pursuing your goals. You coming out of the dark room of your life with a robust and resilient character, capable of weathering life's challenges while pursuing your goals. Your goals are what? To impact humanity with your talent, skill, or your ability, your unique selling proposition, your unique frequency, energy, and vibration, where people are already sitting in the audience waiting for you to show up. But you going on what your ego says, and your ego says go left. Your spirit of divinity says go right, and you keep going left because it's what you know. What if you go into the dark room? And what if when you come out of the dark room, you come out more courageous to listen to the introspection that you have? And when your introspection changes, your proprioception changes. Now, I don't have to use this to see where it is that I'm going. I go along with something called a synchronicity, a serendipitous moment. My five senses are amplified now. And when the amplification comes to the five senses, oh my goodness, you start to sense. Why you start to sense? Because you create. You create your own opportunities. You create whatever it is that you truly desire to have. And here's the ironic thing is, you've always been doing it. You've always been doing it. When you go into that dark room, you're going to be reminded of some of the things that you've actually done, that you thought or felt because of your perception and your imagination and your intuition will be tuned into a frequency and vibration that's more conducive to the level of understanding and comprehension that you actually have within the heart self, between the integration of heart and brain coherence. So all resonates on a different frequency and vibration. So now you start to say to yourself, hey, I can do that thing that's impressed upon my mindset. I believe in myself, not just enough, but I believe in myself to become, to do, and to do again, and to do again, in order to have the thing it is that I desire. Look, I got 3 more things to speak about, and there's no way for you to finish them all right now. So I'm going to stop right here with these 2 and just do a quick review. First thing is shifting my identity. I embrace going in the dark room, the metaphor. Just as a seed starts out in darkness, recognize that personal growth often begins in the dark room of not knowing and uncertainty. The process: embrace introspection and solitude. Use meditation and reflective practices to delve into the inner world, identifying core beliefs and values that define your current identity. The outcome: a clearer understanding of your true self and the beginning of shedding layers that no longer serve you. Dominate. Grow strong roots. The metaphor. Like roots growing in the ground, establish a firm foundation in your life. Get a solid foundation and build upon that solid foundation, so whatever you build doesn't bend back and forth and blow away in the wind, like a palm tree standing up there that blows back and forth but never breaks or snaps. Solid foundation. The process of dominate. Cultivate discipline and resilience. Focus on strengthening your core competencies and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. The outcome: a robust and resilient character capable of weathering life's challenges while pursuing your dreams and your goals. Listen, I got so much more for you, but in the sake of time, here's what I'm going to do. All right. We're not going to wait until another 7 days go by. I'm going to come to you during this week and I'm going to get this done. So we're not waiting until another 7 days go by. So check this out. Because of the power of what this is, I'm going to do another one and I'm going to do another one and I'm going to do another one this week. And depending on how that goes, I might just start showing up here every day. Why? Because I'm here to change humanity. And the only way that I can change humanity is to show up as often as I possibly can so people will see me before they hear me. And if I can embrace that, what would this world look like? Well, let's find out and let's see. There's only one way to find out. I got to show up before I go up. Just like you plant a seed for a tree, it's got to be rooted down into the ground. And those roots have to take form into the ground so that it can build up a tall structure or foundation going from the dark into the light. That's what the Light Body Podcast is all about. How do I go from the darkness of light into the light of life itself through a process? That's what this is all about. So with that being said, peace, blessings, prosperity, and abundance. Namaste. You enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Okay? One love to you. I'm out. Peace.